Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will. We're back today for another episode of Cthulhu Master Nyarlathotep. We're back after a couple of weeks off, and we've got everyone back with us today. So I'm very excited to get back to where we were punching the Doctor to death. So Tom may be with us for about 5 minutes today. Shouldn't take long, and then he'll be out. But we have with us today, Lindy. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there, Will. I am.
Oh no.
I'm here. I will participate
Present.
to the best of my ability. I'm present. Yeah, and I'm going to play Catherine, who's probably feeling about the same as I am right now. So I'm sure that'll be great. It'll be fine. But maybe I'll strangle somebody, help her feel better. It'll be great.
Yeah, that always makes me feel better. I can attest. Tom, how are you doing today?
I ran out of money to keep delaying the show, so I just have to face it now. I can't keep the bribes up. I can't. I just got to face the fist now. I'm okay. Lucian isn't. His entire world is just crashing around him. Everything that he knows has just been crumbling. So we'll see what happens. I do have a secondary character ready in the wings, should the worst happen. And I'm prepared, I guess, for the worst. You know, to be a smear on the wall in T-minus 30 seconds.
Yeah, you've had like 3 weeks to prepare for this is like being told you've got 3 weeks.
This is on death row. This is like being
this
on
is
death
for losing.
row.
Yeah,
You know,
until you get punched
but
by an
I
angry
didn't get a
Russian.
last meal. That's the thing. That's a bit annoying. But
Yeah.
those
Well,
are the punches.
this isn't a very good institution, I have to say, and I made it. So, yeah. Pruitt, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I've been doing a lot of exercises, limbering up, making sure I don't pull anything when I throw any punches. We'll see. But the doctor's fine. He's fine. Koskov wouldn't punch him like right away. He'd torture him for a bit first, especially after what he did to supposed friends. So I can't wait. I can't wait to get to this because it's been too far. It's been too long, and I miss putting on my tattoos. So it's good to be back.
Absolutely. And we have Don with us today. Don, how's it going, my friend?
It's good. I am glad to be back. Playing Tennessee Gray, once a Hollywood stuntman of no particular reputation, more recently homeless and living out of his car. He's lost his home, he's lost his job, he's lost most of his friends, he's lost his mind, he's not doing so well in the sanity department. Still has his car, so that's something. But last time we left him, he was being dragged to the asylum. So I'm looking forward to finding out what's in the asylum. I shouldn't say those words, but I am.
Absolutely. And tonight's villain, I'm kidding, Staffan. Staffan's back with us today to come back with a guest role. Staffan, how's it going, my friend?
Oh, it's going great, Will. Going great. We'll see how long I survive with the usual villain mark. Not that I'm a villain, of course. Perfectly normal person today.
Absolutely. We'll meet Bruce in Totally Normal Bruce in a minute. Definitely not a cultist Bruce, as his friends like to call him. Yeah, that's just a nickname he picked up along the way. We'll get back into that a bit. It's been a couple of weeks since we've all played together through illnesses and plagues and holidays and vacations and the like, but we're back now. So a quick reminder what happened last time on the show will be that the party found themselves locked up in an asylum thanks to Dr. Lucian Ernest, who basically put them there after contacting the White Hare, and decided to lock them all up. But they haven't received a examination by Inspector James Barrington of London Police, and then they also spoke with Dr. Patrick Strausler, who's a decidedly more creepy fellow, who had a psychological evaluation of them, and ended up sort of telling Koskov that he was working for the team, aka the cultists of Nyarlathotep, and he was going to try and get them out because he sort of ran this institution. And so he also decided that in order to get the right contacts from Koskov for who to call for the arms that are being sent to Nyarlathotep's gang, that he would give them Dr. Lucian Ernest, the one who's betrayed them. And so now Catherine and Koskov have found themselves in a room with Dr. Ernest. And things have gone badly, swiftly downhill for Dr. Lucian Ernest as he was pushed into a room by a couple of lackeys, and Koskov's fist is now suddenly alight. But we'll be getting to that in a few moments, because someone that we haven't seen for a little while is Tennessee Gray, and I need to focus all of my attention upon him for a moment. Before we get started, though, I'll quickly remind you guys, if you haven't checked out our sponsors, fantasygrounds.com, check over to their website, or you can download it on Steam for free, the demo version. Definitely check it out. You can play Call of Cthulhu, D&D, all sorts of tabletop games on Fantasy Grounds. WellingGames.co.uk is the go-to destination for tabletop war games, board games, and more, up to 20% off the retail value. And then tabletoploot.com is the place to get all your dice. And if you haven't retweeted this week, I think we're very close to 20 retweets if we haven't already hit it yet. We'll give away a sort of dice to you guys there in the chat. Oh, and of course, if you haven't donated to a game, you can do as well by giving players now 1s and 20s, wild magic surges, and worse. Mr. Odin already donated some wild magic surges at the beginning of today's game, so I will quickly run through what we rolled today, because we haven't heard of wild magic in a little while. We've been away for a week or two. So let's see. Koskov continues to age normally, but can't die of old age, which is just awesome. He's just time immemorial. Let's see. Ernest cannot be charmed by anyone of the opposite sex. So, Doctor, I mean, this is possibly irrelevant, seeing as you may die from Mr. Romanovich, but if you were to survive and the fist didn't go you, you would find yourself resistant to the charms, maybe because you killed your secretary and you don't trust yourself around people anymore. So, there's that. Tennessee has a star-shaped dent at the back of his head. Oh, that's a terrifying thing to have a revelation about in a Call of Cthulhu game. But good.
I didn't think about it like that, Will.
Yeah. Yes. Maybe this star-shaped dent has just recently appeared. And then Catherine, when Catherine is angry, she foams at the mouth like a rabid dog. So you guys are doing pretty well for having spent some time in the insane asylum. No bad side effects as far as we can see. Other than a star-shaped dent, Koskov can't die now, and foaming at the mouth, them being the most obvious ones. So there's that. But before we go back to the scene with Koskov, Catherine, and Dr. Ernest, first we will speak with Mr. Tennessee Gray, who's been locked in a isolation chamber just like the rest of them, somewhere in England, possibly somewhere in London is maybe your best estimation, because you know that the Secret Service have their headquarters here in London. It's probably where they have most of their base of operations. But that being said, you haven't seen anyone for about 2 or 3 days now, as far as you can tell, Tennessee. You're in a padded cell which has no window whatsoever, no light coming in. There's a slat in the door through which occasionally gruel is passed through to you, and it's bland. Doesn't taste of anything whatsoever. They occasionally give you some water to drink from as well, but it's barely enough. So you're probably quite sleep deprived, starvingly hungry, and been left with your thoughts for the past 3 days, you think, as far as you can track. And it's difficult to when there isn't any light. So what's been going through Tennessee's head for the past couple of days? What has he been doing while he's been left alone to rot?
It started off with Tennessee really trying to give Lucian the benefit of the doubt that maybe he was right, maybe they took things too far. He thinks a lot about the people that he's killed since this all began. First down in Peru, and then years later, many more in New York City, and then London. Most recently, the people in the factory that maybe he didn't have to kill. Maybe it wasn't self-defense that time. That's how it begins for him. But as the days go on and he doesn't have anyone to talk to, doesn't know what's going to happen, no doctors come in to talk to him in those first few days?
No, not even any sort of assistants or people that might be bringing food in. It's just like shoved through a kind of slat in the door.
He reverses and he begins wildly theorizing about the cultists, who he's met that is a cultist, and he didn't realize it. He starts to suspect everyone. He starts to suspect Koskov, Lucian. Not so much Catherine or Marcus, but he is trying to keep track of all of the lines in his head, how things connect, and it begins to just completely morph into something that's untrue, a fantasy that doesn't really exist. And he's probably like sitting in the corner rocking and just repeating names of people over and over and over again.
And by the time that the door finally does swing open, as you're in the corner just sort of gently sort of swinging back and forth, you see the long coat and craggy, aged face of Inspector James Barrington, rather. He has a pipe in his mouth, and there are two sort of attendants at his side who look to be people that may have been bringing you food for the past couple of days. They're sort of dead-in-the-face, sullen-looking, sunken faces that look at you as though you may just be a piece of meat. But Barrington looks more concerned and says, Mr. Gray, are you quite well?
Detective Barrington, not gonna lie, I could be better.
Well, I'm sorry I haven't been able to come and see you sooner, but something's come up. I've been very busy. Would you like to come with me? We can talk somewhere else.
Well, anywhere but here is good for me. And pushes up slowly against the corner, and he's like unsteady on his feet. He's not used to walking for the past couple of days. He's got a little bit of atrophy in his muscles. But he kind of steadies himself and does his best to seem as confident as he was, but he's not. Where are we going?
I have an office, not far from here, just a 5-minute walk. And the inspector leads away while the two attendants follow you behind. They have sort of cudgels on their hips, so they haven't drawn them or anything, but they look decidedly ready to commit an act of violence if necessary. And once you're outside, this is the first time you've probably actually seen the outside of this, at least for a little while. There are cells just like yours, with no way to see into them other than a small sort of slat which is used to push food through. They look like cages almost. The cells are made from a strange, dull green metal that you haven't ever seen before, and it strikes you as decidedly strange that this place even exists. You're clearly somewhere underground, as there's a very poor lighting in here, almost like hospital lighting, that sort of very white light from somewhere up above. But this place is very uncomfortable to be in. You realize that you may be very far away from anyone else. The inspector leads you for a couple of minutes and leads you into an office. He's got a stack of papers and what looks to be case files, a cup of coffee on the table. He puts out his pipe and sets it on the table and invites you to sit down. And the two attendants leave the room, but you notice that they are still on the door. And the inspector looks at them with a very long look, which strikes you as odd, even though you've been away for people for a couple of days and this is the most stimulation you've had now in about 3 days. The look which he gives is one of distrust. Please, take a seat, Mr. Gray.
Detective Barrington, if you don't mind, I've been sitting for days. Could I just stand here?
Of course, it's no problem. Have they been feeding you?
Can't complain about the food. Doesn't taste great, but it's enough. Where are we, Detective?
I'm afraid I am not at liberty to tell you exactly where you are, but at an institution, it's safe.
All right, it just wasn't quite what I expected. I thought it would be in a normal asylum, but there's something different about this place.
This is Dr. Strausler's, one of his institutions. You'll be meeting him shortly. I have to say that I've never been to a place like this either. I'm in fact working with the British Secret Service on this case, so I have never been here before. I'm told it's one of the best.
All right, if they say so. What can I do for you, Detective?
Well, I am part of the criminal investigation. I've spoken with your other companions, but I've been caught up as events unfold. The criminal investigation, as I'm sure you're aware, or at least suspected, is into the wrongdoings of you and your companions. Any crimes which either you committed or have seen committed. Your friends have already confessed to several crimes.
Well, I'm sure you know and understand that we had amnesty and we're working with the British government. So.
Yes, I'm afraid to say, Mr. Gray, that those files were not legally binding in any sense. The white hair, the agent that you worked with, is currently being prosecuted for obtaining these files and signing you on.
How about that? Well, I'm happy to tell you what I know, what I can, but I want you to understand something. Everything that happened, everything we did, it was to protect people from monsters. And there are monsters out there. I know you know this. I know you've felt it. You've seen it.
I can't say exactly what I've seen, Mr. Gray, but I can tell you that I've met plenty of monsters before. Some of them hide themselves very well. Some of them are clear to the eye, but all of them are people. Or at one time were.
All right, Detective. Well, I'm here, and I'm willing, so what do you have to ask me?
Well, let's begin with the house in Essex. It's believed that I have several accounts here that Marcus died there. What can you tell me about the house, the events there?
Well, I can't say for sure what happened to Marcus, but I can tell you this. There were cultists there. They intended to commit several ritual murders, sacrifices to their god. A creature lives in the basement there, an invisible creature made of fog, smells like burnt hair, and that creature has been terrorizing London and various places at the whims of those cultists that control it in the name of their god. We went there to investigate. We got caught. They tried to sacrifice us, and it necessitated a conflict. And that, we acted entirely in self-defense. However, that monster is still out there. I don't know where. I don't think it's at the house anymore. But it's out there. These cultists were the same individuals that were connected to the murders that you were investigating. The 19.
I see. Very well, that's in line with what the rest of your companions have said. What about Frank Marshall? What happened to him?
I'm sorry, should I know that name?
When you were at the warehouse only a couple of days ago, the man there who was running the place burned alive. He was pushed into a safe and left there to die. Do you know anything about that?
I don't know anything about the safe, about him being pushed in there, but that situation involved criminals and cultists arriving with many, many guns, shooting the place up. We had to, again, defend ourselves.
Frank Marshall was not armed in any way. He seems to be a civilian.
If he got pushed in there, maybe someone thought he'd be safe in there, or maybe he hid himself in there thinking he would be safe from the gunfire.
Somebody pushed him in there, started a fire, and then locked the door. Do you know who that person was, Mr. Gray?
I can honestly say that I do not.
I have a witness to say that it was Miss Jordan.
I don't know if it was or if it wasn't, but if it was, I'm sure she had a completely good reason in self-defense. As I said, we were being shot at by dozens of armed men.
Yes. As you keep saying, everything is in self-defense, Mr. Gray, and yet that is precisely why I'm here to decipher whether or not all of these cases were in self-defense, which the long list of people that you and your companions have killed, I find it difficult to believe. Have you ever seen your companions or you yourself committed any crimes?
Well, I mean, if we don't have protection from the British government, then all we've done since arriving in this country is commit crimes, technically. I've broken many traffic laws.
Yes, I'm aware of that. But more specifically, violent crimes. How about this one, for instance? Here, it's not in England, but Dr. Ernest. He shot his secretary to death. Was that in self-defense too, Mr. Gray?
Strange that you're working for the British government. Doesn't seem like they would really bring on a beat cop to interrogate us. Don't they have their own people?
Certainly they do, but I am the most one familiar with the case. I also asked to be put onto it after I knew you, and Dr. Ernest asked for me as well. Seems like I could try and help out.
I can tell you this. You don't know anything about what's going on here. You might think you do, but you don't.
Then tell me, Mr. Gray. Please, I am here to listen. This may be your one and only chance to tell someone who's willing to hear you what really has been going on.
I'll tell you if you tell me something. How's that?
You can ask, and I can't promise that I'll be able to answer it.
Are you working for them? Are you one of them?
The British Secret Service.
You know who I'm talking about. Are you one of them? One of the cultists?
Mr. Gray, I can tell you that I am certainly not a cultist of any kind. The only thing which I serve is justice.
Roll a psychology check, and I'm going to nat 20 that.
All right. He's telling you the truth.
He still has a hard time. Yeah, he still has a hard time believing it because he's just super paranoid right now about everything. So he kind of chews his jaw for a minute. There are creatures, gods, men with great power, and when I say power, I'm talking about magic. There's no other way to describe it. They've lived, by what I can tell, thousands of years, maybe longer. There's two of them. One named, Dunbridge? And one
Dunsborough.
named...
It's a name that Miss Jordan has told me.
Dunsborough, that's right. And he like gives him another slow, like unsuspecting look. And then there's another one, Nyarlathotep. There's two of them. They're at war with each other. They tried to involve us. They've been involving others. I guess Dunsborough has been involved with the Jordans for quite a while. He's been harassing them for years. I don't know the details of what went down there, but what I've heard is that he's capable of erasing people's memories. And I met him before. I'm told that I can't remember it. That's what this is all about. They're creating some sort of machine, some sort of weapon. We went to that
machine
factory.
do?
I don't know. I believe that the idea behind it is that it can destroy the other one, but it requires a massive amount of sacrifice, an incomprehensible number of human sacrifices to work. I was reading the books, I've been studying it, but I haven't had enough time, and frankly, that's why you should let me go. We know what's going on. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than a couple of murders, and our friends, whatever we are, whatever we've done, we're the good guys.
The blueprints that we confiscated from you and your companions, I've asked some colleagues of mine to take a look at them. They told me
Trust
that
them?
this... I wouldn't have shown it to them if I didn't. What they told me was that this device is some kind of rocket-propelled machine, would be not fit for the purpose of destruction, but rather to send someone out into space. It's very large. It could hold a lot of people. It's the largest of its kind, perhaps incomprehensibly large. And they also told me another thing which piqued my interest, was that they have never seen anything quite so complex before. These are some of the leading scientists on the matter that I've been able to contact. It told me this is a level of sophistication beyond anything which they could have created. So when you tell me that there are things which can't be believed or shouldn't be, I do believe you in that, Mr. Gray. Whoever these people are that you've been fighting against, they clearly have resources enough to send people to fight you, to stop you from getting their plans. I believe that Frank Marshall would have had more to tell me about this. It's a pity that he died. I would have very much liked to have questioned him about it, but alas. We also saw that they got these parts from Randolph Shipping, somewhere in Darwin, Australia, far away from here. That was your next port of call, I believe.
That's right. That's where we were going. We'd learned of a number of locations of interest, but we talked about Australia.
Well, certainly has piqued the interest of the Secret Service that someone could have this technology, and we didn't.
There are individuals planted everywhere. These people, these cultists, they're in the government, they're in the church, they're everywhere. You are part of something bigger now, Detective, and I'm sorry to tell you, your life is just as much in danger as ours. and you can't trust anyone. So if you think you're helping by keeping us here, by investigating us, you might be doing the opposite. You might be doing exactly what they want you to do, which is make sure that we don't get out, so that we can't stop them.
You see, the problem is, Mr. Gray, the evidence which we have of this rocket is not one built for destruction. It does not possess a warhead of any kind. It does not seem as though it's something to be of grave concern about for the end of the world, as you speak of. And
what
do
about
you have
all
any
the
other evidence of that?
sacrifices? I mean, I've studied it myself. If the people are, I mean, if your experts are telling you that they got something different out of it, then they're lying to you. Then they're part of this.
How could one tell if someone were a cultist? If you seem to have some greater knowledge than I do on how to identify these people, how could I know if someone were a follower or worshipper of one of these two people that you speak of?
Detective, you're the one who does this. This is your job to determine. I'm telling you right now. You know I'm telling the truth. You can look in my eyes and you can tell that I'm being honest with you.
I believe that you believe it.
God damn it, Detective. What is the point of this? Why do you have me here? Why are you investigating me and interrogating me if you already know everything?
Because, Mr. Gray, that is how the process is completed. I must hear your testimony, you must give me evidence, and I must ask you these questions. Because, frankly, your lives are on the line here. You and your companions are all going to hang as things stand. Now, you have a psychological investigation with Dr. Strausler. He will evaluate your current state of mind, but I am no expert, Mr. Gray, but there is clearly some basis to what you're saying. At the same time, I can't help but ignore the fact that you and your companions both seem very strained mentally.
Well, you're right about that. It has been very stressful recently. Keeping us locked up in cells like that without any light, without any people to talk to for days. You think that's helping?
It's not my call.
Well, Detective, if we don't get out of here, if they don't let us go, just know that's on you. And I'm begging you, you gotta finish what we started. Someone needs to go to Australia before it's too late.
I understand, Mr. Gray. And fear not, the matter is under investigation. The best people are on the job. We'll try our best to do whatever it is we can, uncover whatever it is there is to be uncovered. For now, though, it's time for your evaluation with Dr. Strausler. I recommend you answer his questions honestly and to the fullest of your capacity.
I will.
Very good. He signals to the two men outdoors, and they come, and a few moments later, they sort of pull you out somewhat unceremoniously from the jail standing in the room. Then once again lead you through a series of dark green metal chambers. Well, eventually, you come to a cell, which your hands are manacled down, and your legs are also, feet are manacled down to the floor in a cool blue linoleum room. A couple of minutes later, in isolation, as the two leave, an old-looking doctor with a crooked nose comes in. Looks like it's been broken several times. He's got a pen and pad in each hand. He seems to be scribbling on them furiously. And then, as if noticing you for the first time, says, "You are Mr. Gray, Tennessee Gray, yes?"
Yeah, that's my name, Tennessee Gray.
Very good. You are here for your psychological evaluation, as the rest of your companions have been. So, is there anything you need before you can get started?
Well, it's been a couple of days since I had whiskey. You got any of that on hand?
I'm afraid I'm not allowed to answer any questions from patients. Right, let us begin.
He goes into his pockets and produces a needle, which he swiftly injects into your forearm. And you can roll me a power check. It's a hard one.
Oh boy.
Couldn't have felt that much more if you tried.
Nope.
So, Tennessee, swiftly your mind starts racing. The room becomes incredibly blurry. Things seem to matter a whole lot less. And you find yourself speaking a lot more freely than you might normally, especially in your weakened state as the poison courses through your veins. Dr. Straussler just becomes a blurry figure several feet away, dancing in and out of focus.
What would you describe your state of mind as, Mr. Gray, over the past few days?
Thirsty.
First, yes. What about your psyche? How have you been feeling?
Anxious.
Anxious. Very good. Have you or any of your companions received any strange visions or sights recently?
Yes.
Describe them to me.
Visited by a man, Dunsborough. Strange dreams of creature, Nyarlathotep. Wanted me to help him kill Dunsborough. I said no. I'm not sure what my friends all said. They've been kind of weird about it.
Weird about it? How have they been weird about it, Mr. Gray?
I don't know. Sometimes I think that they might have impure motives.
Pure motives.
Catherine wanted to assassinate someone for money.
Really? Who did she want to assassinate for money, Mr. Gray?
I think it was somebody in the police. New York City. He died. She didn't do it. I did.
I see. This was Captain Robson, was that the man?
Yeah, he was attacked by cultists. They tortured him. I stopped it. Made it stop for him.
A mercy killing then.
Yeah. He is a good man.
Would you say the same of Dr. Lucian Ernest? Is he a good man?
Yes.
What about Mr. Romanovich?
No.
Is Catherine a good person as well?
No.
And yet you still travel with them and work together? It strikes me as strange, Mr. Gray.
They're stronger than I am.
Would you
There's bigger
describe
things
yourself
going
as a good person, Mr. Gray?
No.
What's the worst thing you've done, Mr. Gray?
I abandoned a village of people in Egypt. I let armed militiamen murder them. I could have tried to stop them or told someone, but I didn't. I ran.
I see. What is it that you fear the most, Mr. Gray?
I don't know what's on the other side of this life, but I'm afraid that it's hungry. I'm afraid it's just waiting.
This creature that you saw, your companions have described a similar vision or sighting. It made you an offer as well, I presume.
Yes.
What was that offer, Mr. Gray?
Protect me and give me what I wanted. I just had to say his name, follow him.
What did you say, Mr. Gray?
I told him that I was gonna kill him. I was gonna kill all of his followers, and we were gonna stop him.
That seems strange, given the fact that others of your number accepted this deal. How did that square with you?
I don't think they meant it. I don't know. Maybe they're working for him, though. Maybe they always were. Sometimes I think they always were.
What would that mean you'd have to do to them, Mr. Gray?
I have to kill him. No other choice.
Quite. Sometimes, a creature that devours itself is, well, the true hunter, wouldn't you say?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Well, that's neither here nor there, Mr. Gray. Now, what would you say the state of mind or sanity of the rest of your companions is?
I'm worried about the doctor.
Yes. Why do you fear for him?
I think they're using him, these creatures, these entities. Something made him murder his worker and shoot her in cold blood.
Yes, he did kill that little whore, didn't he?
No. She was just a woman.
Of course, Mr. Gray. Do you think he might do that again?
Yes. I think he might hurt himself too.
Yes. Yes. And what about the other two? They might hurt you or the doctor as well.
They might. I don't know how sick they are, but they got a violence in them more than what I do. And that's some kind of sickness.
Yes. Two heads of the snake against the other two heads, as it were. Progress is coming along well. Final round of questions, Mr. Gray. If you were to be released from here, what was it that you would do?
Kill you.
Yes, good. What next? What would you do after you killed me?
Go to Australia.
Yes.
Keep them from building the machine.
Yes, a great machine. Yes.
Keep going until there won't nothing left of me.
Yes.
As long as I can.
You are quite remarkable, Mr. Gray. He does know how to pickle them. Very good. What would you do with Dr. Ernest if you were left alone with him?
Find out whose side he's on.
And then what?
Help him or hurt him, depending.
Yes. Very good, Mr. Gray. I'm pleased to say that your psychological evaluation has been most revealing and helpful. It's been a true pleasure of mine, my life's work, to finally speak with you and the rest of your friends. Such interesting companions you have, Mr. Gray. Well, I will be submitting my evaluation and we'll have to see what happens. But before that, perhaps you would like to speak with your friends?
Yes.
You would. Then, before you may, one last question. What is it that you love the most, Mr. Gray? Is there a person or a idea or a place or an item?
Lucy.
Lucy. Yes, of course, of course. Of course, I should have known. Would you like to meet her first?
Yes.
Yes. Good. Good. I'm sure she has a lot to ask you after all this time. Let us speak with Lucy first, then, and then you may see the rest of your companions. This way, Mr. Gray. Two of the attendants come in and unshackle you from the table and push you through what looks to be a laboratory. And also looks like there's a lot of mechanical engineering happening in here as well. There are a lot of busy hands working on something, though in the blur all you see is metal and machinery. Or you can really make out occasionally here is what looks to maybe be an axle of something, or a window, a shard of glass, metal pane being worked on by busy hands. But the daze is enough to not really have you focusing on that. What you can really make out is Dr. Strauss's hunched body as he moves through his workshop. And there is a garage door which is lifted upwards slowly and with the scream of tortured metal. And you see before you your car, Lucy, who is looking fresh as ever, with a new lick of paint on her again. And the doctor looks to you and he seems very earnestly concerned. Is that right? Is she perfect again for you, Mr. Gray?
He steps forward and puts both hands on the hood of the car, closes his eyes and kind of bows his head and just takes in a deep breath. Does it feel like her?
It does.
Yeah. I think that's right.
Oh, magnificent. We were concerned after the previous incident. I mean, the first time was easy enough to rebuild, but the second, third, fourth times it becomes more strenuous on her spirit. There's only so much of her left we can use, you understand? But this is perfect. We've been working tirelessly on it for you, Mr. Gray. I'm so pleased you're happy with her.
I'm gonna go now. He starts to move for the front door of his car.
Yes. Yes, yes. Of course. You must. You have a mission to perform, to succeed in, but wouldn't it be best if your companions were with you, Mr. Gray?
Oh. I don't know.
I think it would be best. Then the journey could continue, the adventure. The next chapter in your story could unfold. We need that, Mr. Gray. So let us go and find them. But first, I'd like you to meet someone. Come with me.
He stops and turns around.
You're going to like it. It's Lucy.
Where is she?
Just through here in the operating room. Come, there's a theatre there. You can see it from a stance.
He follows slowly, shuffling his feet.
the attendants behind you, and Dr. Strausler beckoning you forwards with a finger and smiling as you continue, leads you through a set of doors, up a set of stairs, and into what is a operating theater, where it looks like there are other doctors and engineers and the like who seem to be watching the operation being taken place. Each seated, watching. Some of them are scribbling down notes. Some of them look to be in some kind of state of ecstasy or bliss as they are watching this, their eyes wide. Some of them are drooling from the mouth as they are watching the performance take place. In the center of the room, there are several doctors who appear to be working on a girl who's under an operation right now. She's on the table. From this distance, it's difficult to tell exactly how old she is, but you suspect that she's a young woman, maybe in her 20s at most. She's not quite like a normal person, however, because she's missing a lot of different parts of her body, which seem to have been removed, and they look like they have been stitched back together somewhat by the doctors who are working on this gruesome scene. She's missing a left leg, right arm. She doesn't have any eyes. Looks like she may be missing a tongue as well. And the most current procedure, which has recently looks like it's been completed, is for an organ which could be a liver. And remarkably, the girl seems to be breathing, not under any kind of anesthesia as far as you can tell, as the doctors work on finishing this procedure. And Strausler looks to you and says, "See, the latest one, as I said, was not as easy to obtain, but the work in the vehicle has been worth it, I would say, wouldn't you, Mr. Gray? To keep it alive, to keep her alive."
That's Lucy. She's Lucy.
Well, part of her. The car is more her now than she is. It takes a lot to understand the complex mechanics behind creating such a vehicle, but my experiments here have proved very useful. Their minds are far greater than ours who have gifted us this technology, Mr. Gray. First, it was difficult. The leg was difficult to remove. The arm, the one you lost her that one time, was tough as well. We almost lost her then, but when she came back, all was well. And from there, we have turned it into more of a science, if you will, Mr. Gray.
He's trying to clench his teeth, trying to keep his lips shut, trying to will himself to snap out of this sort of drug daze that he has. Is he able to do that?
You can roll me another hard power check.
I rolled power. It was a regular success.
Yeah. So no, you still feel this sort of wooziness as everything drifts to and fro, in and out, like an oil painting in movement. Strausser says, "I'm so glad you've enjoyed our work, Mr. Gray. And now you can continue to be with her on the next chapter of your adventure.
I'm sorry.
You've done good work here. Don't be sorry, Mr. Gray. No. Don't apologize to us. Don't apologize to that."
As he points towards the girl.
Just be happy for the gifts you've been granted to keep on.
Where are my friends?
They're close. We can go and see them if you'd like now.
Yes.
Then you can leave.
Yes.
Both of the masks can be on their way.
to the glorious conclusion. Thank you, Mr. Gray, for coming to witness this today. You'll see her soon, I'm sure. For a moment, your eyes make contact with the girl who's down on the table. You don't recognize her. You don't exactly know who she is, but for a moment, there's a moment of recognition as back in Peru, you saw a photo of Koskov's sister. She was down in the pit as well for a moment. And there's a moment of recognition where you realize that Stasha is Lucy. Come, Mr. Gray. On we go. And they pull you through and out of the room. And we'll cut back to Koskov, Catherine, and Dr. Ernest, who have just been having a conversation of their own.
Yeah, sure. Cut back to us after that bombshell.
I can't end the episode. So the three of you are in the doctor's room. Ernest has just been pushed in. You've just had a conversation about the morality of what Ernest has been trying to do, and the rest of you, and Koskov's fist has just lit up.
Okay, so yeah, Koskov, because you said he was just in a straitjacket, right? So yeah, his fist would light up, and it would start burning the straitjacket, and he would just kind of sit there, arms kind of twisted. So under his left shoulder, you just see like flames start licking up, and he's just gonna wait for it to burn away so he can like untether himself from this thing. But yeah, just the whole time after he lights it up, he doesn't say anything after that. He just stares at Lucian, and just sees the reflection of his fist in his eyes.
Lucian will keep the gaze and not take it off, and then he'll sigh, and then he'll stand up as tall as he can and just stand there and wait.
And I would assume enough of the vest or the straitjacket burns away.
Burns away.
Koskov, he feels the the straps kind of loosen, and he kind of pops free and just slowly like extricates himself and throws it to the side, fist still burning, and he stands up and he looks Lucian right in the face. Do not worry, my friend. There will be time for that. And he goes over and starts unstrapping Catherine.
Thank you. It's really uncomfortable sitting like this for days.
You should try it for weeks. And,
I have.
In
It's just
Russia,
been a while.
they do not have safety concerns like they do here in the West.
Neither do they in Kenya.
Oh! Heard you and Marcus talk about Kenya. Have to tell me sometime.
It's a long story.
Yeah.
She'll eventually get out and be like, oh, just kind of stretch.
As Catherine is getting out, the door swings open, and a dead in the eyes looking Tennessee Gray steps in. The doctor's left you with their two attendants who just sort of push you into the room, Tennessee.
Tennessee!
Oh, he's not dead. That's great. It's so good to see you alive.
How
Tennessee.
close? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, how close am I to the orderlies that are bringing them in?
I mean, they're really big enough to. The table's in the middle of the room, so maybe 15 feet away as they push him in.
I
and slam the door.
stayed door side because there was no way in hell I was going anywhere near that table. So the way I pictured I'd be near the door.
Sure, you're probably 10 feet away.
Lucian.
Fuck it,
Running
I'm
will
going
only
for
make
it.
it worse.
I'm going for it. So Lucian at this point is
He's going for
Lucian
it.
is going to go over to one of the orderlies and try to throw him towards Koskov. And I'm gonna nat 20 it.
Okay. So Lucian moves towards the orderly as the door is closing to try and like throw him through into the room. So that's
Why not?
20 off there. Sure. Well, I'd give you give me a dex check to make sure you can get there in time. First of all, you can spend a 20 on that one as well if you wanted to.
What is my dex? I think I've got a pretty good dex.
Pretty
so
good, pretty high dex. Yeah.
I'm gonna go for it. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? I'll
6
spend
luck?
6. I'll spend 6. Sure, why not?
There it is. Squeezing out the luck from you guys
Yeah.
every roll.
Sure, why not? Why not?
Bleeding that stone. Yeah. So Lucian, you rush over and sort of like move the orderly into the door, and the other one is next to you. He's going to try and cudgel you. So.
Well, no, I was going to throw him towards
Mhm.
Koskov, so that.
So there are
he's
2
in the
orderlies.
room. Yeah, one
there are
orderly.
2 orderlies.
I mean, I know I'm getting decked from the other one, but
Yeah. The other guy's back in the room while this guy. We'll try and club you. He'll spend a 20 on it because I've got some.
naturally.
You can try. Can you try and dodge, or you took an action? So you can dodge.
Yeah.
He could dodge, but he couldn't take a next action.
Yeah, you
Oh, no,
can
you're
dodge.
right,
Yeah,
I
that's
can
right.
dodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
I
dodge.
wouldn't make
I'll
it feel
dodge
like
it.
fruits.
I'll dodge it. Well, you did a nat 20, so there's no point. Is there? I can't.
Oh yeah. They don't. Yeah, they don't dodge. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, that guy didn't dodge either. So, he's gonna try and knock you out. He's got D8 is a D3 damage bonus. So he does 5 points of damage. He like smacks you with a cudgel. It should get. He'll roll again for the crit. Then. Yeah. So 13.
I'm dead.
Well, you're knocked out. You've been knocked unconscious. He's
Okay.
going for non-lethal.
He's going.
That would be an ignominious death.
He's gonna be like, look at Costco and be like, we didn't even have to punch him. I mean, look, he did it himself.
How dare they?
Lucian throws the guy orderly into the room. The other orderly just like backhands Lucian across the face, and he is immediately unconscious as he like kicks him back into the room, and the door swings
Catherine's
shut.
just taking the strapping off of the straitjacket that she has is just getting nice long length of cord. There we go.
Now the other orderly is still in the room with you guys, as he's been like locked in by the other guy. He seems to somewhat mercilessly just close the door on him.
Okay. And Koskov will, since he threw him at Koskov will like grab the orderly and like keep him there. And just this whole scene looking at it like,
How dare they?
Catherine, check on the doctor. Oh,
We'll give it a look.
it is not his time yet. And he like looks back at the orderly.
Hey. What do you think we should do with you?
He doesn't.
Kill him.
He moves to speak, and then there's like a voice on a speaker, which got crackles on into the room. Oh, I wondered if you might try something like that, Dr. Ernesto. Dear, oh dear. Is he dead?
I guess I'll first aid the duck. Try to.
I certainly hope not. I have vengeance to exact.
I think he's still breathing.
Oh,
Not medically
Really
trained,
wanted-
though.
Well, that is certainly a shame. Let us hope he survives. In the meantime, it is time for you all to leave this institution. Mr. Gray has a passage for you out of here in a car named Lucy, who I think you've all met. And you are to meet, get on a ship. It's headed for Australia. I figured I would sort all of that out for you. It's RMS Moldavia, setting sail for Sydney.
What was the name of the ship again?
It's RMS Moldavia.
Okay.
I hope all of this unpleasantness can be over now. Of course, it would be unwise for any of you to return to England, and you can consider yourselves convicts of the law, outlaws as it were, but I think you'll manage.
Nothing new?
Not at all. What about this one?
Very good.
And he like
kill him
nods to the
if you
order.
want.
Have a look at the doctor first. I don't think I did a very good job.
And Koskov kind of
Totally
just tosses the doctor out, or tosses the guy out of the way.
He succeeds on stabilizing the dog, so he's unconscious, but not gonna die.
That's
You're held
good.
within an hour. Or a day, rather, yeah.
Tennessee. Tennessee.
Am I still just as drugged as before?
Yeah, these last for like 24 hours.
Oh, he got the good drugs.
Oh, they gave
That's
him
what I
the
look
grade
like.
A drugs.
They got your
The
sister.
grade
Koskov. They got your sister. Here in this
I'm
building.
I am sorry, Tennessee, you're drugged right now, so I can understand if you
Truth serum. I can only tell the truth.
That's not what it was. I just felt really relaxed when I.
And he like
Pretty sure.
looks back wherever he thinks that the doctor is on the PA.
Yeah.
Is there truth to this?
I'm afraid I do not have your sister, Mr. Romanovich, after all. She has passed away. Mr. Gray here is under some strange, unfortunate delusions. He's seen a great deal of things.
Well, if you please excuse me, we have all been through a great many things, but I trust him more than I trust you.
Be that as it may, Mr. Romanovich, it is time for you and your companions to leave, set sail for Australia. RMS Moldavia awaits you. Now there is only one way for you to leave this establishment. I'm sure you're familiar with places in between places, corridors that seem to move. A strange sign on a wall which suddenly appears and you find yourself in a different place. Well, when you leave this room, you will be in a different place entirely. And seeing as you have no idea whatsoever where exactly you have been in my institution, it will be impossible for you to return. I look forward to hearing from you from the rest of my companions. And once again, the cult of Nyarlathotep sends its regards and warmest thanks for your continued work for our organization.
Catherine's gonna lean real close to Koskov's ear. You think we can set this room on fire before we leave?
Koskov looks around at anything flammable in this room.
I mean, the cell itself is made out of like a cool green metal that you haven't seen before. Your straitjackets would burn, probably.
Yeah.
What's the desk made out of?
Yeah, what's the
metal.
desk?
Yeah.
Ah,
At a high enough temperature.
they're getting smarter. They're
Yeah.
they're putting less flammable things in rooms they put us in. Oh gosh, darn it.
I'm sorry, Catherine. I think they know your MO.
Oh, that's more of your MO. I was just thinking it might help you feel a little better. You had a strange look on your face. I'm not an
Well.
arsonist. I just murder people.
Well, you have done fun things with fire recently. So,
The building
It
was
is my
already
thing.
burning. I just closed the door.
You should kill him. That one.
I
Does he
should kill.
points to the orderly very slowly.
You hear a crackle. I completely concur. He's useless after this. He'll either die of lack of oxygen by remaining in this room, or you can kill him now. You choose.
Strangulation is pretty similar to lack of oxygen. And the
Nyarlathotep's
Cather's
eyes
kinda
open wide. He's like, no, 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 no.
nonchalantly walk over.
And when he looks away, at Catherine,
Uh-huh.
a cat jumps in his face. No, I'm sorry, buddy. Not right now. We're playing. But yeah, as soon as the orderly looks away at Catherine, Koskov just like right across the face.
His head just pops off like a ripe melon.
Koskov!
I had frustrations to release.
I have dibs on the next one.
This is agreeable. Now, Tennessee, come
Fine.
here. Catherine, you
All
lead
right.
him. I'll take care of the doctor.
And kind of looks at him on the ground.
Uh-huh.
Just kind of
All right,
picks him up
Tennessee,
by the
come
front
here.
of his shirt.
She's gonna like put an arm under Tennessee's shoulder, kind of help stabilize him because he's all sorts of drugged up.
I don't
And
think I should
Koskov-
be driving.
Well, I will drive.
Feel again. Just
It
a
will be
moment.
Koskov's
fine.
sister.
Tennessee,
Not lying.
we will talk about this.
Okay.
I don't not believe you. But we are in a bit of a bind still.
And Koskov like reaches down and grabs the doctor like by the front of the shirt and the vest and thing, and just kind of pick him up like that and drag him.
Yep.
And he'll
There's
open
one
the
out of
door.
it. Yeah.
He'll open the door
Mhm.
and kind of look back into the room.
I
Yeah,
will be back one day.
And then he'll
I
turns around and goes out of the room.
very much look forward to it, Mr. Romanovich.
As you open up the door, sunlight streams through, and the sound of the seaside, the smells of salt, and a strong wind which drives it immediately assaults your nostrils as you find yourself outside in beaming sort of sunlight. And there are plenty of ships that are coming and going. Looks like you've just exited from a like a shipping container, like one of those huge metal containers that you always see at the docks. And before you is a old-looking ship, which has in sort of chipped off paint RMS Moldavia written on her side, and it looks as though there are some people boarding the vessel as you guys come out. As you look back,
This looks
it's
safe.
just a door again. Yeah.
And I mean, we're still in hospital garb, I would assume. Like
You're still in
patient
your
garb.
hospital garb. Yeah, though interestingly enough, outside the shipping container, there's a table upon which most of your equipment has been placed. You are missing, however, all of your weaponry seems to have gone in the whatever has happened to you. But clothing is there, and important documents seem to be with you as well.
Is my violin there?
Nope.
Oh,
Tennessee's walking stick.
bastards
Nope.
took my violin. They're gonna pay
Ugh.
for that.
My doctor's
never-
bag.
There is a doctor's bag for Ernest, though it's not particularly well.
Just throw it on top of his unconscious body. Just rest it on top. Bink.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm basically carrying him like Thanos carried Thor at the beginning of
well
Avengers.
then I'll just
where
like
it's
take a
kind
button
like
of his
this.
like his vest or something and just like attach it so it hangs on him.
Yeah.
Yes, you'll need this later.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And Koskov grabs his clothes up and
Well, it's
well,
a good thing I took these cards from the straitjacket. She's gonna just stuff them in her pocket.
well done. Shall we
That's
depart?
all I need. Suppose so.
Is the car nearby?
Lucy, when you take a look around, is in the next shipping container. And it's almost as though she drives herself out for a second. And the recognizable sight and smell of Lucy with a fresh coat of varnish on her. She's looking better than ever.
Yes. They want us to pull her up for to be put in queue, to be stored away.
Yes. She should come with us.
Oh well, definitely. Whew, it hit him hard.
And Koskov will get in Lucy and like fire her up and pull over. Wherever they have like a ramp or where they're loading.
Yeah, there's a loading ramp. Yeah.
Two more questions, Will.
Yes.
Are our clothes there? I missed that if they did say that.
Mhm.
Or are we still
Clothes are
just
there,
hospital?
yes.
Okay. Well, and Catherine's wedding ring. Is that still there?
Catherine's wedding ring would be there.
Okay, cool. Koskov's like, my rings?
I already have them on.
Oh, it should be noted as well that there are a couple of interesting looking masks, which are also still in your possession.
We don't need
Of
those.
course.
Leave them here.
Probably unimportant.
No,
Mm.
completely
I don't
irrelevant.
know. He mentioned them to me. These masks.
He asked me about them. I didn't know anything. That was Marcus's field.
Looking around here, Will, is there like a harbor master office or anything while
Yeah,
everything's
there's-
loading up?
There's definitely a harbour master office. They would be
Okay.
in charge of ticket sales, directing people where they need to go, but also questions for like the shipping,
Yeah.
like the boat captains and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a pretty big office.
Well, he's gonna load. After he's gonna get changed a little bit and get the car queued up and all that. But I want to head over there before we get on the ship.
Okay, yeah, you can head over. There's a bit of a line as other sailors and the like are lining up to ask some questions. And as you wait in line, you see a woman in her 30s or so, English, and wearing the kind of uniform of the docks. It looks kind of naval. She smiles as she sees you, probably the first friendly face. Not amongst your companions that you've seen in quite a while. How can I help you?
I need to just use your phone for just 1 second, if that could be agreeable with you.
Yes, you can use the telephone. Just right through here.
Thank you.
Yep, she leads you to the telephone and says you will be charged, but it's not too bad.
I'm sure
As
it
long as
won't
it's
be.
not overseas or anything.
No, of course not.
And then he calls his base in Russia.
Like underground nuclear base.
He calls his private line in Russia.
Yeah. Yep. It's
and,
toll free. Yeah. It's a 1-800.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a different 1-800 number than the
It's
one
not the
he gave
1-800
before.
fuck you. It's
No.
yeah.
No, it's a different one. But he's just calling. Does one of his peoples answer the phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's all right. Once they answer the phone, he's like,
You should be getting call for a job to be sent out. Be sure to give them good service, like we did in Prague.
and then he just hangs the phone up.
Duh. Cool. Okay. That done, do you guys want to get aboard the ship?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. You are led aboard RMS Moldavia, and it is by no means the that comforting and comfortable, luxurious journey that you took from New York to England weeks prior. The RMS Moldavia looks to be a sort of, I guess, World War I grade vessel. That's maybe that's not particularly unusual, but it's not a standard sort of commercial cruiser. Before, you were traveling in luxury. There was like a beautiful first class. There was a theater on board. There was a wonderful bar where you met the white hair. This is a lot more bog standard. It's kind of the equivalent of staying at a motel on a ship. So your quarters and bunks are pretty small as you find them. And as you're bringing Dr. Ernest in, immediately someone's going to stop and in concern, seeing as he's like clearly taken a massive head trauma. And one of the staff is like, do you want to see the medical crew?
He got shit-faced and then got in the fight. Probably be good.
Yes. Big crews, he gets scared.
Of course. Come along. So before the ship has really set sail, you're taken over to the medical quarter, where you come to meet Mr. Bruce Woodford, on the medical officer aboard RMS Moldavia. Bruce, what do you look like?
G'day all. Bruce is a 6'2", early 30s, close cropped dark hair, Antipodean, in a rather snazzy wide coat, tail, ship's doctor's outfit, or as soon as he sees the good doctor, goes, oh well, if you'll please just bring him in here, and he moves a whole bunch of papers off a desk and basically does a quick medicine check just to make sure that we're not going to have a cadaver before we leave harbor.
Mm-hmm.
Koskov will walk in and lift the doctor up and just kind of plop him down unceremoniously on the desk.
I think I know better than to ask what happened on land. Looks like he'll pull through. I'm sorry. I'm Bruce. Bruce
That
Woodford.
you are, Bruce. Hell do you do?
Good to meet you, sirs. Did you what happen to be?
I am a concerned friend for my doctor. That is who I happen to be.
Tennessee Gray.
This is
Because
Tennessee.
the truth, Sarah.
He's an honest man, this one.
Well, I can't say as the name rings any bells, but I haven't. I rarely get to see what few passengers we have. It's mostly accidents that happen with the freight.
I'm
Do you
sure a
have
lot of
anything to
sailors,
counteract? Do you have anything to counteract poison? Like truth serum.
Oh. Well, I
Truth
find
serum, like
in
all just
cases,
rum, probably.
yeah, in cases of doubt, alcohol works.
I
Yeah,
would
but
love
I mean,
some.
Bruce's probably first thing is like, I don't know, maybe get him to throw it up if it's not too newly in the system. You might be able to chug some of it up. But it has actually been in Tennessee's system for like 2 or 3 hours now, so he's like
And it's in the
well
bloodstream,
into
it's not, he
the
didn't
truth theory.
swallow it. So yeah.
Yes. Do you have
So, yeah,
bottle of
alcohol is the
something?
best.
I do have some
Oh,
medicinal, and he
Whiskey.
brings out a bottle of a reasonably pungent smelling, obviously alcoholic drink. The label is turned away from you, but that just means that Koskov sees the back of it. I don't know that anybody else might naturally read the Cyrillic alphabet. But Koskov goes, oh, the good unconscious doctor.
Well, doctor. You just made a friend. I am Koskov. I will make sure he gets plenty of medicine.
And Bruce will pour out a good measure for Tennessee and for the doctor, and for his new friend Costco, and he'll look at the young lady with an inquiring, somewhat shy smile.
Catherine.
And pour a smaller measure and send it over. And then he'll reach behind and grab.
He's just gonna look at it and then give like a look.
He'll reach behind and grab out a tin of beer that he opens and says, "To the king," and chugs back.
To missing friends. And to friends, and he looks at the doctor, who will probably soon be missing.
Are you a cultist?
Cultist? Don't know what one of them is, mate.
Best to ask
Is that some kind of bird?
No. Murderers, mostly.
He's got mixed up in the bit of the wrong crowd. Tennessee, why don't you drink your alcohol?
Yes, Tennessee, we're all drinking. Why don't you drink? Do not worry about my friend. He
It'll help you feel better.
He's had a bit of a time lately.
Catherine just does her a little shot.
Can't wait to get back. Proper bev.
So you are from Australia.
Australia?
Yeah. Born and bred in Kokomaru.
Is that near Derby?
No, can't say as though it is.
Oh well.
Did Koskov mean Darwin?
Oh, I'm sorry. I accidentally wrote down Darby.
I have Darby written down too.
Yeah, no, wait. I have Darby written
Let's
down.
see.
Darby.
Darby.
Oh, is it Darwin?
That would make sense. Darby's where you were. Darwin's where you're going.
Randolph ship going Darwin, Australia. It's possible that I misspoke when we did it, but it's been like 3 weeks, so I don't remember if I...
Yeah. I will cross
It
that
sounds
with
similar.
Darwin.
Obviously, Darby was not fit for survival. Darwin, then.
Darwin. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. Kookaburra is just a couple of jumbucks, skips, hops down the river.
I assume that is not far, then. I am not
Versed in
familiar.
Australian slang.
There. Well,
I've seen Darwin. Not much to the place.
apparently that is changing. Well, our doctor, he will be fine, huh?
Yeah, I'll keep a kookaburra on him.
That's a bird, right?
Yeah,
All right.
keep an eye.
You should be careful. Keep an eye on all your medications. He's one of those. He likes to steal things. Should not be trusted.
Not that much, sadly, to for a Pommy to get their hands on, really.
Well, he doesn't need much. He is good at job.
And
If a bit lacking in focus.
Right.
And with that, I mean, Koskov's will hang around for a little bit, because he just wants to make sure the doctor doesn't wake up and try to escape before the ship gets out to sea. But
Catherine's
once
gonna take
the,
Tennessee to a room.
yeah, but Koskov will hang out near the medical area. Just as long as that bottle's still out, of course he'll be around. But just keep an eye on
not
Catch
too
up with
long.
you later, Cross.
Yeah, it's not too long before the ship is underway, and you guys have got the first leg of your journey begins. It's going to be quite a long journey out to all the way to Australia from England, but nonetheless, at least it's begun. So, Catherine, you take Tennessee rather off to a room, and sort of just sit him down, I guess.
Yeah, we've got so we've like you said there was bunks. So is it like 2 bunks to a room? We've like 2 rooms.
Yeah, 2 bunks to a room. So yeah.
She'll throw like the doctor's medical bag on like 1 bunk and then set Tennessee down on the bottom bunk. She's not gonna try to get Tennessee on the top bunk right now.
Okay.
She just doesn't see that going well.
Does Tennessee agree to this?
Yeah, he kind of just follows along, and like once he's sitting down, he looks around and he says, "This is better than where they had us before."
Completely agree. You need any food or water or anything, Tennessee?
I could use some water.
I'll see what I can
This
do.
is still a prison, Just like where we were before, this is their ship, their room.
The world's a prison, Tennessee, and it's filled with monsters. The ones that we're dealing with are just more powerful than the average human being.
Yeah.
Alright,
Are
you stay right
okay?
here. No, I'm not okay, but I'll deal with it. I'll be right back, and then she's just gonna try to get a couple glasses of water, bring them back. She's thirsty too, because she hadn't had food or drink in days as well.
Right.
You see, as you guys are coming back with water, you see what looks to be the captain of the ship that you're underway is coming along, and he is stopping in on rooms, checking people are getting situated okay and that they're doing fine. He strikes you as a sort of friendly type of fellow, and he comes over, and as you're going back for the water, it says, "Is everything okay in here? Getting situated okay?"
Perfectly fine, thank you very much for asking.
Good. This next door as well, I think a group of you came together. There's a doctor who's not feeling so well.
No, I took a bump on the head.
Okay.
He's fine. He'll be fine, though. You know how some people are when they get drunk at the pub the night before, they get clocked out and then wake up, falls over again because he still woke up drunk. He'll be fine. He'll recover. He wasn't ready for the Irish pub, it seems.
Well, if you need anything, then please come by. I'm Captain Shakti. And he moves on to the next room.
Pleasure to meet you. And she's got the smile, and as soon as he's out of visual, she's just like, ugh.
People.
Marcus's job to deal with the people. That was not hers. So
He's
she's just gonna come back
probably
into
a
the
cultist.
Probably. Here's some water. Cheers. Clink.
Cheers.
Downs it. I'm just going to assume everyone's a cultist for someone at this point, because it seems rather likely with what we've been encountering lately.
Yep.
Yep.
What are we gonna do next?
Well, we're going to try to, I suppose, lay as low as possible on the ship while we travel to Australia. It's a bit of a jaunt. It's on the other side of the world, practically. Probably about a
should
month or
sleep.
so. Yeah, you probably should. You need anything else before you go to bed?
No, just don't let them come back and take me again.
I'll make sure no one bothers you while you sleep. And she'll kind of just tuck Tennessee in, because I imagine he just kind of flops over. Yeah, she'll just kind of tuck him in and then close the door and lock it behind her. Even though it probably locks from the inside, she's got a bobby pin. I'm sure she can just make sure it's locked. And then just kind of chill in the hallway next. Get situated in her room next door.
Okay. And then Doc's getting fixed up by Bruce and Koskov. What are you up to?
Like I said, Koskov, he would stay near like kind of the medical area because he wants to be there when the good doctor wakes up. So he would just stay like right outside. Maybe if there's just a nice walkway looking out over the water or whatever, he would just kind of hang out there. Maybe try to scrounge up a little something to eat as he gets situated back in his
For sure.
in his clothing.
And then, Doc, after a couple of hours, you're going to start waking up under Bruce's assistance and care. So a couple of hours you're underway, and you sort of wake up and you're in this room, and there's a man there who's clearly taking care of you.
Oh my. Oh.
Yeah, the palmy brew will do that to you.
Did I wake up in Australia?
On
Why
your way
am I
to.
moving? What?
You're on the good ship Moldavia, sir. Your friends brought you in as they boarded.
My friends? Oh, yes. Of course. Why am I here? Why am I in here? Ow. I'm assuming
You'd
there's something
taken
to do
quite a tumble earlier, apparently, so you weren't quite all with it when you arrived.
To be honest, I don't think I've been all with it for quite some time. And he'll get up and just sit on the side. So, when did we leave? How long have I been out?
About a glass and a half.
A glass of what?
Oh, pour me a landlub. Sorry, cup 2 or 3 hours.
Oh, thank you. Great. So, in your medical opinion, am I allowed to leave?
How many am I?
Well, you are currently 1.
In that case, in my opinion, you're fit to leave.
Thank you. You wouldn't happen to have any painkillers, would you? Got an absolute banging headache.
He looks at you somewhat evaluatingly and goes, 1 second, and pulls out a bag of powder that he hands you. Don't tell your Russian friend that I gave you those.
What is the powder?
It's a you smell it and go, yes, cocaine.
Oh, right. Oh. Thank you very much. He puts it in his pocket. Thank you. I'll, if it gets any worse or my vision or gets impaired, I'll head back here for further examination. But hopefully I'll be fine.
Ah.
Thank you, Doctor.
My pleasure.
Oh, sorry. My name's Dr. Lucian Ernest, and he extends his hand.
Dr. Bruce Woodford.
Good to see you, Bruce.
Bruce to my friend.
Perhaps we can catch a drink later.
Oh, quite likely.
Excellent.
It's
Well,
after all an
please-
Australian ship.
There will be lots of drink, I am sure. Please excuse me, I'm going to see if I can find one of my companions, and he'll head towards the exit.
Like, walk out the door and Costco's with
Is that going to be like it?
Oh, Doctor.
Doctor!
You scared me.
It's like a flash of lightning from somewhere.
Well. Look at what we have here. How are you feeling, my friend?
A very big headache. Koskov, how did I get this bang on the head? The last thing I remember is us leaving the warehouse.
The last thing you'll remember is leaving the warehouse.
Yes, where all those cultists and things were shooting at us, and we were in Lucy?
Koskov just narrows his eyes at you and, like, he walks right up to Lucian. I mean, almost like you can feel his breath on your face. That's how close he gets to you.
Doctor, it would not be good or wise to lie to me.
What are you talking about?
You don't remember the asylum?
Asylum? No.
And Koskov's I'm gonna do a psychology check on this.
Are you lying, Doc?
No, he genuinely doesn't remember the asylum.
Doctor, how would you characterize your feelings towards me right now? Are you scared?
Right now?
Are you frightened?
I'm always scared of you, Koskov. You know that.
That checks
And
out.
I am a bit worried about you and your constant violence. I have not been quiet about that.
No. And what would you do given the chance to do something about my constant violence?
Well, I would like you to get help.
Doctor, I tell you what. I will give you benefit of doubt. A lot of crazy shit has been going on, but in the last few days, you have, for lack of a better word, betrayed all of us. And we have spent this time in an asylum, which we were only recently, as in like 4 hours ago, released. I was this close to putting my fist through back of skull. You tried to escape. An orderly hit you on back of head with baton. You can feel welt, I'm sure.
So that's where I got the bang on my head.
Yes,
It
after,
wasn't-
once again, after you betrayed the trust.
In what way did I betray you?
Well, walk with me, Doctor. Just 1 second.
And he pops back in the little med room.
My good man Bruce, I don't suppose I could trouble you for a rest of bottle, could I?
Oh, sure. Plenty more. And
Good answer.
he hands out the now mostly empty bottle of Bulgarian cooking brandy.
Ah, Bulgarian. Ah, it's good stuff.
And he comes back out with the bottle.
Now walk with me, doctor. We need to go to room, check on Tennessee, see if he is recovered. Well, they will corroborate what I have told you. After warehouse, you, for lack of better word, called in cops on us. Basically, as we were trying to do what we're doing now, which is escape, you got us caught. You snitched.
Right. Okay. So why am I still alive? Why didn't you?
Only by my good graces.
Why?
I do not
Forgive me,
know.
Koth, but you do not seem to be someone who is very forgiveful, sort.
No, not really. I really wanted to make an example of you before I ended your life, but now I'm actually conflicted. Ugh, so much easier back in Russia. So, here's the thing.
Okay, go ahead.
You tried to get us help because you were worried about our mental state. As you said,
I am
you have
still
made...
worried. Yes.
Yes. Well, we got help by being starved, I think beaten, not sure. And then we were released. Because cultists we are fighting, they run asylum. Everyone is part of this, apparently.
So, sorry, so let me get my head around this. So, I went to the authorities to have you committed in hopes to help with your psychology, your psychic, sanity, I suppose. They shoved us into I suppose you could say, a grotesque asylum which would torture rather than helping.
Felt like it. When you don't feed or water people for days, feels like torture.
Yes, I would absolutely, definitely agree. And then the people who owned it let us go.
Da.
And they are part of the cultists.
It certainly seemed that way. They were referring to their lord. You know, the one.
Yes.
The Nyarlathotep. Da, yes. Actually referred to him specifically. And set us on our way. So I will say this, and like the whole reason Koskov is walking away from the doctor and away from everyone, he wants to try to be as alone as possible with the doctor. So you should not trust anyone on this ship, because only by their machinations are we here and on our way. I am still not certain why. I do not know what the reasons are. They do not make sense.
No. Perhaps we could talk to the others and see if they would know more. But Koskov, if I did do that, I do apologize. For me to do that, the asylums that I have been in have been mainly for victims of the Great War. Nothing like that. They actually did get help. They would go to estates. That's, if that was my intention, that was what I was hoping for, rather than a grotesque torture chamber for... It seems that I was also...
Oh, you were kept there as well?
Yes, I am sure that I did. Please know it did come from a good place. Was there anything else there that you told me?
I believe I told you that I would kill you. Yeah. Remember that. I don't know. They gave us some kind of serum. Maybe you should go check on Tennessee. He's still under effects.
Oh, yes, of course. We should go, yes.
And so hopefully by now we're at least close to the rooms.
Yeah, Catherine's standing in the hall between the two rooms just because she promised Tennessee she'd make sure no cultists got in, other than the four of us. So, as soon as she sees them walk up, she'll be like, "Oh, it's traitor McSnitchface, all up and
Yes.
at him."
Yes, I do apologize for that, Catherine.
I told you.
I do apologize. I believe it was from a meaningful place.
He claims he does
What do you
not remember anything after warehouse.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's not even.
I know, it takes all the joy away, does it not? I'm pissed.
Well, you're sleeping in Tennessee's room.
That's fine with me. He's the one
Okay,
least likely.
and then
to
she's just
kill
gonna
myself.
go into the room, and she wipes the corner of her mouth a little bit. She's a little angry, and she just goes into the other bunk room and just hear the door close, and there's just the sound of someone getting kicked or punched or something. Just thunk.
I'm still surprised I'm still standing. How I survived both you and Catherine is a miracle upon miracles.
Well, I was saving you for later, because I want to... It doesn't matter. I'm sure point will still get made. Please, check on Tennessee. He's mumbling some crazy shit.
He'll open the door again, because they're real thin, be like, "He's telling the truth, Sarah. It's rather hilarious. You should ask him a bunch of questions." But he's sleeping, so maybe wait till he wakes up. Closes it.
Well, I'll go check on him. He'll open up the door and go in to check on Tennessee. He'll see Tennessee get a chair and sit down next to him.
Does he wake Tennessee up?
Yeah, go on. I'll wake you up.
I'm imagining that Tennessee's dreams are pretty light and lucid right now.
When Tennessee wakes back up, how is he still just as affected as before?
It's been a couple of hours, so it might be starting to wear off a bit. 24 hours is the duration that it works, so you're still feeling pretty honest, but hopefully a little less sick in terms of being able to see properly, that kind of thing.
Is he still super docile?
Yeah, it's still certainly pretty. At least take some cocaine, and then you're going to be feeling better.
Hey, Doc. Yeah. So Tennessee will roll over and slowly sit up.
Tennessee, how are you feeling?
Strange.
I hear.
What are you doing here?
I'm here to check on you. They said that you were injected with some sort of truth serum.
Yeah, I think so. It makes everything feel real light.
Yes, I'm sure it does. Have you been drinking water?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Tasted awful.
Yes, it will. Unfortunately, Tennessee, something like this, there's nothing I can really do until you have to let it pass through your entire system, and 24 hours should be enough. What did they do to you in the asylum?
Locked me in a room, few days, dark, not much to drink. Detective came and got me, asked me questions. I told him mostly the truth about what we'd done, what was going on. Told him about the machine. Think the detective is on the level, but everyone else there, I think, is a cultist. And shot me with a needle.
Yes.
The doctor who gave me my psychological exam was a cultist. Serves Nyarlathotep.
Mm-hmm.
They had Lucy. they had repaired the car. Then they showed me how. There was an operating table. Koskov's sister there. In pieces.
Tennessee, Koskov's sister is dead.
No,
She
she's
died
not.
back in Peru.
No, she's not. She's alive. They're using pieces of her to fix Lucy. That's how Lucy keeps coming back. Each time they take another piece.
Okay.
Not lying, Doctor.
I don't think
They
you
showed
are.
me.
I don't think you are, Tennessee. I really don't.
Doctor,
Tennessee. Yes.
fuck you for what you did.
Yes, I don't remember anything since the warehouse. Could be a short-term memory loss. It could come back. And I am sorry that I was responsible for putting everyone through that. I want you to know that I would never do anything to intentionally hurt any of you. If I did it, well, I must have done it. It was coming from a good place. It was just
I know.
ill-advised.
It was stupid.
Oh, very, very stupid. Naive as well.
You gonna leave now? Once the ship docks, you gonna go?
Well, even if I wanted to, I doubt that Koskov and Catherine would let me, without, ripping me limb to limb. No, I don't think I'm going anywhere. No, well, as far as I'm concerned, we still got a job to do. Some machine, I believe.
You're gonna have to get your hands dirty, Doc. You're gonna have to let go of what you're holding on to. Ain't no other choice. You stay. You gotta stay the right way. You gotta be a part of what we're doing. You can't do that, Doctor. And you should go. I won't say anything.
Lucian will tap Tennessee on the shoulder and say, "Get some rest, Tennessee. I'll see you in the morning." And he'll get up and he'll walk out of the room.
You'll notice that your medical bag is on the top bunk as you stand up and walk out.
I'll just have a quick look.
But when the good doctor went to go check on Tennessee, Koskov would go in the other room and plop the bottle down on the table in there. Catherine,
Koskov.
What do we do about him?
You really believe he doesn't remember?
I mean, I have seen, men get hit in the head and forget things, forget their name, their dog's name. But that far back, either one of two things. He genuinely lost memory. He took hard hit on head.
And he's very fragile. I mean, just constitutionally speaking.
He is like Fabergé egg. You must carry him with soft
Very
hands.
delicate.
Or something has affected him.
Hmm.
And if that is the case, it could affect him at any time again.
See. So you don't think he's just bluffing it because he's terrified we're going to murder him?
I put him under some pressure when he woke up. I looked into his eyes. He believes what he is saying. I do not believe he is lying just to save his skin. He has too much, he would call it honor, but it is cowardice in my opinion.
Naivety, to a certain extent as well.
Hmm.
What do we do with him? I suppose we can't just murder him now. He wouldn't get the point of it.
Oh no, I have plans for the good doctor. Besides, one of us could still need a doctor in future. We
That's
need to
very
keep him
true. We
around.
are slightly accident prone.
Although I do like the good Bruce's drinking habits on this
He
ship.
seemed alright. I
he
think
could
he's
be a
lying
good
about the drugs. I
replacement.
think he's probably got some good stuff.
Oh, he is on sailing ship. There is nothing to do but drugs out at sea.
Drugs and liquor, exactly. I mean, I haven't seen hardly any women here. I think I'm the only one.
Yes.
So that leaves drugs and liquor. Usually it's drugs, liquor, women.
Any other woman, I would say you should watch out for yourself, but you're fine.
Thank you, Costco. But yeah, when I was put in Tennessee, and I just threw the doctor's bag up there because I can't sleep in the same room as him. I'm afraid I'll like sleepwalk murder him. Just
We do not need this now.
no. Not sleepwalk, more like half awake. We've had some weird dreams lately, and I'd rather not. I'd rather be fully present in the moment if that were to happen. So.
That is true. You have been through quite a bit. Are you okay?
I don't know what to do.
There is only one thing to do. Keep on living. It's what he wanted.
It is what he wanted, but he was my main reason for it.
Find no reason. Revenge for him. Revenge for what they took from you. It is what keeps me going. Ever since Peru. I will find these people. Everyone who had a hand in my sister's death. They will lose that hand.
Right. As good of goal as any, I suppose. Let's murder all the motherfuckers.
Yes. Let us murder all of these motherfuckers.
Knife dips on the next one.
Unless it's the good doctor.
Fine, but at least let me help.
You may hold him down. I give you that.
Perfect. Alright, I'll hold him down, you punch. Glad we've worked all this out.
Blah. That's why we work so well together. Let us have a drink.
Sludge.
Okay. Dr. Ernest, as you're outside, headed back perhaps to find Bruce and some more medical attention or more cocaine. You also spot Captain Shakti, who's wearing this nice captain's uniform and hat. He says, it must be the doctor who is not feeling so well.
Oh, yes. Sorry, yes, I took a little bang on the head before coming on. That's all. It's all good. You're
Something about a Irish pub.
Yes, yes. A friend of mine, she thought it would be a good idea to get a drink before we go, and knew this lovely little place. Probably wasn't as lovely as I thought.
Well, glad you're feeling better. Mr. Woodford is a fine medical officer.
He is, yes, absolutely.
As are you, no doubt. Well, if you need anything, Doctor, I'm Captain Shakti. You can come find me in my cabin if you have any questions or concerns. We should be in Sydney. Well, it'll take a while now, but when we get there sooner, I'll let you know.
No, thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, and if you have any interests while you're staying in Sydney that I might be able to help with, questions about locals, places to see, visits, that kind of thing, I'm your man.
If I think of one, I'll be sure to ask you. Bit of a headache, you understand, at the moment. So I'm trying to find a question.
Get some of Bruce's cocaine. It's good stuff.
Yes. He did give me some, so I might partake soon. But thank you very much.
All right. Have a good day. He shakes your hand firmly and moves on. What do you go next?
Lucian is going to just go out to the deck and kind of just look out to the sea. And he's going to ponder his position and what Koskov said for one, and what Tennessee said for another. Eventually he's probably going to just get a chair and just sleep there. But that's pretty much all he's going to do.
Okay. What does Bruce get up to for the rest of the evening?
Bruce is taking it easy, clearing out up the mess that's sort of left from the administrations, but pretty much just relaxing back with a brewski.
Brewski?
And enjoying the sight of land passing by on the basis that once we're through the canal, he knows it's going to be a very boring scene outside.
Yes, quite. Okay, next question. Who does cocaine while they're on the ship? Who wants to do some cocaine?
I'll make something before I do.
Just
once the doctor lets us know that he got cocaine, Koskov will be like, yes, my
He hasn't let
tooth.
anyone know he's got cocaine. The only person who knows is
It's such a
captain.
Lucian
betrayed me
move.
again,
Killed
you
you.
son of a bitch.
I'm sorry,
Don't
but
shower the good
The
drugs.
one thing that people who have cocaine do is tell people that they have cocaine. That's
You want us to be less mad at you, but you won't share the
don't.
cocaine?
he
God
will
damn
when
it,
he
Lucian.
uses it.
Okay, next question. When does Dr. Lucian take the cocaine?
Possibly next morning, but it's at the moment.
He doesn't do it at night. He just fucking wakes
No.
up, takes some cocaine.
No, honestly,
I think
he's
it's
probably
gonna be
not
out.
even going to use the cocaine. He's not. I mean, he knows what properties cocaine actually does.
Yeah,
and he's
it's
a
really good for
medical-
headaches, says modern medicine at the
really-
time.
Yeah, you probably think it's
And
a
for the
favorable
virus.
thing. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Was it really 1920s?
Yes.
Was it
No,
favorable?
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
cocaine
in
is
that
like-
case,
if toothache
that
tabs
case-
were like almost all cocaine, and you could get them over the counter at the pharmacy.
in that case, he's gonna
Morphine,
take some before he
heroin?
goes to sleep.
Yeah.
He's gonna
a
take
heady-
some before he goes to sleep to help him sleep.
Now, what I like
Cocaine.
to call the golden days.
The cocaine was the Ambien of the 30s,
Yeah.
right before bed.
All right, so Lucian takes some cocaine. It's all good. Have a good time. It certainly clears up that headache. I mean, That is the least of your concerns. You're having a much. Lucy's in a really good mood. Like he's sort of, I guess he's probably like kind of hyperactive by the time it's the next morning.
He wakes up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yeah. You're like, your worries of sanity are out the window. But speaking of sanity, because you guys have seen some shit while you're in that place. Some of you more than others. Now, Mr. Grave, having witnessed Lucy Romanovich, as it were, we're going to roll you a d8 because we're kind. You only lose 2 points of sanity for having witnessed that, but there are no rolls involved. Now, everyone gets a d6 for having been in the asylum, so everyone will lose 4 points of sanity as well.
But we don't get a d6 for having been in mental. I thought we were supposed to get sanity back, Will.
Yeah, no. Well, you can thank Tom for that one.
I want to Rolls lawyer this. That's a permanent insanity for Tennessee Gray.
Cool. I think your permanent sanity, Tennessee, is that sort of he just never's gonna stop. Right? That's his that's the thing that came out in his serum. His true serum talks was like he's going to kill that person, he's going to keep going, and you'll kill your companions if you need to. And I think there's a switch that has permanently been kind of flicked off now for Tennessee, where he struggled with some of the morality before. The paranoia of the cult has sort of overtaken him, and is going to allow him to do probably some worse things without worrying about it so much now. So that's good. Let's get a paranoia count. That would be off the charts. Let's get the sanity count for everyone. So Catherine, what's your san looking at right now?
42.
52?
42.
42. Oh, okay. Doc.
52.
Hey. Koskov.
33.
Oh boy. And Tennessee.
31.
What about, okay, here's the real question. Bruce, what's your sanity?
Oh, it's a perfectly safe 48.
Bruce is like more insane than Dr. Ernest, is by all of it. Remarkable. What did you start with, Lucian?
I started with
Pretty
what's
high.
my power? 80.
80. Wow, yeah, so you've actually lost quite a good chunk along the way.
I took a big chunk at Peru. That was the big one, and I think I took a big chunk when I blew the head off my assistant as well. But they're the main ones. They're the main ones that I've lost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Catherine's big chunk was Marcus.
There you go.
She started, well, she has 70 power, but she started with 60-something because I had to roll some for the criminal package. So,
Right.
normal bodies don't bother me, but, yeah.
Yeah.
Started a little crazier.
All right. So, yeah, you guys wake up the next day, and you've got quite the journey ahead of you from England to Australia on RMS Moldavia. And if you have a peaceful journey over, you will regain some sanity during this period as well. So you might be able to claw back some sanity by, I don't know, spending some quality time with Bruce, taking some cocaine with Bruce.
We have a coat-filled journey to Australia of just booze, cocaine, sex, rock and roll, you know, all that.
Hey, now. Still a grieving widow.
Well, you're not the. Is she really the only woman on this?
No, there are other commercial passengers who are
There you
going
go.
to Australia.
Okay, good. There you are.
Australia is not the tourist destination that it is nowadays. It's one of the colonies where we put people who had broken the law and maybe who hadn't broken the law off to there because we didn't want to deal with them. God damn it, England! You did it again. Yeah.
Catherine's going to do one of the most relaxing things she knows how to do, and she's gonna find like a piece of sharp metal and make a shiv. She's gonna make some shivs, improvise some, because she doesn't have any weapons, so she's gonna, braid some thin cord, make some shivs, just to kind of start here and there, making implements of murder.
Are there this is so what we're doing in general right now? Is there like a fireman's axe or like something that's like like behind glass somewhere?
I'll a luck check.
Oh, good.
That's the next question. Actually, people have probably way less luck. Nope. At
Nope.
least not one that you can easily get to, without someone watching you, or So no dice set. I mean, there are average pieces of furniture and equipment around that you could kill someone with, like a pen or a lampshade.
Yeah, pens are great.
Or, you can get hold of a knife from like the kitchens probably. It's probably the most you would get from them is nothing more than a kitchen knife. And if you want to try and have a knife, you could roll me a luck check to try and nick one if you really wanted one.
Sure.
Firearms in Australia are pretty well checked in some places and then really not checked in the other. So the game tells us to roll a luck check, but you don't even have any firearms on you.
So Koskov manages to nick a steak knife one night at dinner.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see if she's able to get it, because Catherine knows how to make it. Oh my gosh, is that a success? Hold up. No, it's not.
And Tennessee is
You have a
looking for like
I have a shiv. I'm fine with that.
shivs, like a wrench or something blunt.
Yeah,
Finds, like,
yeah.
really
There's like a mechanic sort of, this is like Titanic style, like section of the ship, so you can probably get hold of a wrench, something heavy and metal. So like you guys are like armed as much as any normal person.
Got like
probably
6 shivs
could
and
be.
like 2 garrots, just ready to.
Yeah.
Good to go.
But yeah, no firearms, so you're feeling pretty under-prepared when it comes to that. You would people know that getting hold of a firearm in Australia, depending on where you go, is either a little tricky or incredibly easy. Walk in and there's a gun lying on the table, pick it up kind of deal. So regulation is is something which is a bit haphazard in Australia at the moment, but picking something up there shouldn't be too difficult.
Across the journey,
Yes.
every day, not every day, but across, Lucian's memory is going to slowly start coming back as he sleeps and heals and stuff like that. So it's going to come back, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I like the way that's being played. So yeah, I mean, it's not an uncommon thing to lose a lot of memory once you had a serious head trauma like that, which was a critical hit. So you could have died from it basically.
Yeah.
So memory slowly, you start to fill in the blanks as you spend the next couple of days. Does he bring that to the party?
He won't hide it. Yeah. So every time he gets a new memory and stuff, he's willing to tell them. I mean, he's not going to continue to say sorry because then it just becomes meaningless. But he is remorseful of what happened. But he's going to keep them up to date with how he's doing, and he will let them know he has cocaine, and where he got it. But he's not going to. But he's not going to give them any unless it's a medical emergency, because in his eyes, cocaine is used for medical purposes, not for recreational.
Well.
But he does tell them. He does say where he got it from.
And Koskov says, "You have bought yourself a reprieve," and then he goes to see Bruce.
Yeah, Catherine's right behind him.
Just kind of. Hey, Bruce, I have headache.
Bruce is probably doing like everyone on the ship.
Queue. Yeah, there's a queue just outside his office.
Please, sir, can I have some more? Yeah.
Dispensary hours are 10 to 10:15.
So Koskov and Catherine show up at your door one day, Bruce.
Hi, g'day.
Yes, I have headache. I require medicinal treatment.
I'm-
Toothache.
Oh. Hopefully it wasn't anything from dinner. That was some pack of fish.
Nah.
Yeah, I can't unfortunately do an awful lot for either, but I have something that may help. And he grabs out 2 small packets each.
Bruce gets out his credit card.
Yeah, and Kufkoff makes sure that he pays attention to where the doctor gets it out from.
It's not pleasant.
Somewhere over and underneath to the side. Definitely out of sight.
Down
from the,
under, I think it's.
Hey now.
Thank you. You have done me a great service today.
Oh, thank you much.
And,
This will hopefully put it to rest. Chill.
And we'll step outside. And as soon as we get outside, Koskov shuts the door and looks at Catherine.
We are stealing all of his cocaine tonight.
All right. Sounds fun. Let's do it. I'm
Your
bored.
quest log
It
has
is-
been updated. It just simply reads, "We are stealing all this cocaine."
She's like, sure, sounds good. I'm bored.
This long
Talking
threat, we need...
in Tennessee won't even know because they're in a different room. See, this is why I put you in my room. I trust you. You have good ideas.
I try. So we will call this Plan C.
Yeah. Oh, yep. I like it. I like it. Makes a lot of sense.
All right.
I'll see if I can
Let us do
finagle some more
cocaine.
bobby pins in case he keeps it locked up.
And then Koskov gets jacked out of his mind on coke.
Okay, so Tennessee, you've woken up, and you've tried to find. You've probably found yourself a wench, not a wench, a winch, not a wench.
I want to be on
Yeah,
his
heavy-
cruise.
What is
Heavy
the
wrench.
word I'm trying to say? A wrench. A wrench was the word I was trying to say. Oh my god.
What are all the salty winches?
Earlier today, I was seeing a slat in the door, and I really almost said there's a slut in the door. And I'm like, you've got sluts, wenches. No. You found yourself a wrench. You're feeling better. You're no longer jumped out of your mind. Your companions, however, are. What do you want to get up to?
So he's pretty tight-lipped about what he saw once he comes back the next day. He's very quiet and kind of withdrawn. Once he feels his head stop swimming, once he feels like he's got full control of his faculties, he goes out and he'll steal the wrench. And Tennessee's gonna look for whoever's in charge, the captain or
Yeah, it's
whoever,
Captain Shakti.
and try to catch them like in their quarters. or
Yeah, he's got a
somewhere.
cabin that you're allowed to visit
Okay.
him in.
Yeah,
it's like a open room desk. You can see out on the sides of the boat.
You can go up to the captain, say, "Hello there, Captain."
Yes, please take a seat.
Yeah, of course. And he comes in and he sits down next to him, or across from him, and he says, I was just wondering a little bit more about the ship. I've not seen one like it before. Are you privately owned? Do you work for a company?
He says, "Oh yes, the Moldavia is an old vessel, which has been done back up again. Fine work on her, I'm sure. But yes, it's a private company."
Oh. Is it the only ship in the fleet?
Oh no, P&O. We sell many different vessels. Might see the big sticker on the side, and he and then he says, "And here," and he's got like a P&O like badge on him as well.
Well, that's P&O. What's that stand for?
Will Google it.
Sorry.
He will tell you.
He will tell me.
It's an abbreviation of Peninsula and Oriental Steam Navigation Company, is what Google says.
Well, that's a mouthful. Well, I was just wondering a little bit more about the company you work for. You see, you took us on, even though we had a man who was injured. I was a little out of it yesterday, but shouldn't he have gone to the hospital first? Or do you usually take on people who are in that condition?
Well, that must have been handled by one of my staff. They informed me afterwards. I took him straight to Mr. Woodford, who has the best medical facilities we have on board. Your companions must have said that they did not want the doctor to stay behind. It is not a breach of protocol, but I suppose somewhat irregular. Normally we'd send someone to a hospital, but it's likely they insisted for him to stay on board. After all, we could not delay our passage, so it would have been all of you left behind, or just him.
Nyarlathotep.
Excuse me? Is that another language? I'm Egyptian myself. No, I do not recognize the name. Or another... Is that your friend's name?
I'm gonna make a psychology check to see if he recognizes the name.
Sure thing.
Not using that 20 on it.
There's a flicker of recognition in his eyes for just a moment. Roll me an idea roll, Tennessee.
All right.
You've heard the name Shakti before.
Do I recall from where?
There was a conversation that you had before in England where the name Omar el-Shakti came up on a piece of paper, a letter from an Omar el-Shakti from somewhere on a dig site. And they had been speaking to Edward Gavigan there previously. And you know that this Mr. Shakti must be involved in the cult of Nyarlathotep.
Yes,
Whether or not this is the same Omar el-Shakti, you don't know his first name, so can't be sure.
They had Gavigan had defaced the Black Pharaoh bust, and that belonged to Omar, right?
That's right.
The one we found in the building. Tennessee stands up, and as he stands up, in his right hand, he's clenching the heavy wrench.
Mr. Gray, I'm sure that's not a good idea. There are plenty of people around here. Someone would see, and security would come to arrest you. Be taken back to England or thrown overboard.
That might be true. Or I might not care. Shakti.
That may be the case, Mr. Gray. But is not your destination in Australia? Are there not more of the people that you're looking for over there, I think?
What do you know about them?
I know everything there is to know.
Well, why don't you tell me?
Well, because you're holding a wrench and threatening me with violence, Mr. Gray. I tend not to speak with people who do these things.
We're going to be on this ship together for a long time, Captain. Now, obviously, you know who we are. We know that we're here and what this place is, who these people are, who you are. So either you're upfront with us and you tell us what's going on, or this is going to turn bad. And I can't control my friends. If you think that I'm
control
trouble
yourself either. None of you can control yourselves. It's partly why you're here in the first place. Well, I'll tell you this much, Mr. Gray. Your passage was paid for by a Dr. Straussler. and rooms and board. Did you not think it strange that you did not even have tickets and arrived on the boat? I suppose maybe you did not even remember that. I am to make sure that you arrive safely to your destination, as I am with all the passengers aboard this ship. You will not come to any harm while you're aboard it. What happens after that is up to you, of course.
Which side are you on?
Well, you already recognized my Nyarlathotep. It is he who I call master.
Why am I still here? Why am I still alive?
I cannot answer that, for I do not know. Though if I were to take a guess, Mr. Gray, it is... I would say that the beast wears many masks. Sometimes twin-headed serpent devours itself.
Yeah, I'd had that thought myself. Well, Captain, if anything happens to any of my friends while we're on this trip, if I find your crew sniffing around us, we'll burn this entire ship down. I guarantee you that. You've seen what we've done. There's been a lot of fires in the past, and there'll be one more. So now that you know that I know that you know not to mess with us.
Well said, Mr. Gray. I do not fear that any harm will come to your companions here, nor any, what you call, sniffing. No.
All right.
I'm sure you'll be fine. And I'm sure Moldavia will be fine as well. She sunk once before, you know.
Huh. How about that?
Oh, yes. From the bottom of the ocean she rose, Mr. Gray. She is unsinkable. Unkillable, one could say, the spirit of the Moldavia. I do not fear you could even try and hurt her. But you are more familiar with machines with spirits than I am, I think.
He almost drops the wrench and tries very hard to keep his face straight, and he turns away and starts walking away and doesn't look back. And he says, I'm sure I'll be seeing you around, Captain.
Don't worry, Lucy's in good care. I'll make sure nothing happens to her. Again.
He doesn't respond to that.
Leave the captain's quarters behind. Do you tell any of your companions about this interaction?
Immediately finds the coked out Kozkov and Catherine.
Coked out party bus.
Right.
We're just in that room, like... I imagine Catherine's got like her blouse half unbuttoned and she's just kind of like hanging up, like halfway off the top bunk, like backwards, like get the head rush going.
Oh,
hi,
are the two of you all
Tennessee.
right? Hello. What's...
Doing great right now.
All right, well, hey,
How are you?
listen, I'm feeling a lot better, but you have to
Good.
know something.
Right.
This ship, its captain, cultists. They're all
It's a
cultists.
cultist. Yep.
Ah,
This is
Yeah.
some sort of ghost ship, so Plan B won't work this
Well,
time.
that's no.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if we used enough B in the plan B, it could work. Maybe. But don't worry, we're going to be doing plan C instead.
What's Plan C? We never talked about that one.
Well, don't you worry now. In the sea, it will all be worth it. Trust me.
Blow your mind.
Yes.
Well, here's my thoughts. kill all the crew, kill the captain, take the ship, and we don't go where they want us to go. We go somewhere else.
Where are we going to go besides Australia?
There's other places that we can look into, right? There were other. Let me check my notes. I know that they exist.
I think
There's
China's
somewhere.
one of them.
China is one of them.
I've got a friend in China. She deals in opium.
Shanghai. There's
Yep,
Egypt.
yep,
There's
Shanghai.
Kenya.
Oh, it's Egypt. While lovely, I prefer not to go back there for a while.
I agree.
Yes. Not ready for that climate as of yet. But the thing is, Tennessee, we know where we need to go. So once we get off ship, we can do what we want.
Just plan B everything.
We might think that we're doing what we want, but what we're actually doing is what they want us to do.
God, do you think we could plan B Australia? Like the whole of it?
That's a lot.
Well, I mean, they already tried that, I think. I do not
Did they?
know the history. They
Oh,
burned a
bloody hell.
lot of it.
Did they burn a lot of it? I guess there's not much left to burn then, is there?
Well,
We'll see when we get there.
I mean, Tennessee, we already know these. The cultists are the ones who let us out of asylum and who booked passage on this ship. So, I assume that cultists were here. So,
I wasn't thinking straight yesterday, or I would have said, "Don't get on this ship."
if they wanted to kill us, they would have killed us.
We were going to get murdered. The British government wants our heads, basically, because we're escaped convicts now. So we haven't told Lucian he can never go back. That's going to be a great look on his face. I mean, I've
wasn't
already been
going
banned
to.
once before. This is nothing new for me.
Catherine, please. And he kind of, do not tell him. Just don't.
Oh. All right.
It will be funny. One day.
It's very true. We'll
So,
subscribe to the paper so we can find out what happens.
So what do you think we should do then? Just go along with those people, stay on the ship with them, let them here, be right next to us, right next door
They're
to
not going
us.
to kill us. We're useful right now, so might as well try to get the upper hand on them as much as we can.
I mean,
Right?
I do not plan on drinking with them any more than necessary, obviously. But,
Obviously.
you know, we plan on keeping to ourselves and plotting.
Like
what
we're
you
doing
do.
right now. And I
So we are
imagine that she's got like
plotting.
a piece of paper with like X's and lines and like stick figures of the heist that they're gonna do tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what's this plan that
Big
you're working
C.
on?
It's plan C.
Tennessee, do you see there is a valuable resource on this ship,
Very
and it
valuable.
will not survive the journey unless we rescue it. In that, he who controls, or she, the cocaine, controls the ship.
Huh. All right.
Long journey.
Well,
Right now, Bruce is the most powerful man in this whole ship.
He is. He really is. Look, the captain. He doesn't know shite. Now, Bruce. He's got the cocaine and the liquor. Those are two things we need, and two things we don't have nearly enough of. And she called like there's like an empty vodka bottle or something in the room, and, like an empty little bag, and just I don't have enough of it. It's not gonna last us 3 days, let alone a month.
Tennessee, the point is, at this juncture, random killing will not help. It just will not. I appreciate and I encourage your wherewithal, your chutzpah, in order to want to do these things. But they have to run ship. Let them.
I don't know how to run a ship. I think we'd
Do
probably
you still
blow up.
plan on? Do you still plan on driving Lucy?
I don't know. Why do you ask?
I No, they brought your car too. I mean, you're just going to leave it behind? It has been following you this whole time.
She seems very attached.
Ah,
No, I guess I'll bring it with us, I suppose.
See, we'll get off the ship, but before we do, we have to get into a port, and then we'll murder all the cultists. All of them.
All right.
Every last son of a bitch.
All right. Well, good luck with Plan C there, and
It's going flawlessly, and she kind of admires her work.
all right. Well, I guess I'll just. Oh wait, we have those masks, the books and everything we took.
Yeah,
ah.
they're here.
Have you?
Do you want them?
looked
I mean,
at
they're just propping up the plan right now. They're just-
I mean, if you don't mind, I'm not gonna. I have to do something while we're on this.
I think Catherine
You're
took
going to be-
flyleaf from one book for a plan drawing, but it was blank.
Also rolls up
Alright.
real nice. It's multi-purpose.
Well, I guess I'll read and try to. I'm
If you
lock
need-
myself in my
Now,
room.
you're
and
about to
avoid-
be friends with the two most powerful people on this ship. So if you need any,
We already
you know,
are. Well, okay. I don't. But if you get any whiskey, I'll take some of that. None of that, whatever that was they gave us yesterday, that was disgusting. I don't want any of
He
that.
didn't give me nearly enough. It's like he didn't realize I was Irish. I can drink more than the doctor.
We drank most of it while waiting for Lucian to wake. Sorry. Perhaps while we're conducting Plan C, we will
There's
do
got
some
to be more in there.
reconnaissance. Ah, we're on the same page. You drew us there, see?
I did right there.
Well,
To this point,
good luck.
As Tennessee wishes them good luck as he sketches for Plan C near the dizzyingly confusing, complex, and nonetheless genius conclusion. Somewhere aboard the ship, Bruce Woodford locks away his cocaine for the evening, and as of yet unaware of the heist that is going to take place next week on the show. And perhaps the one character that I had planned for Staffin to play that wouldn't get murdered, maybe will next episode. Maybe he'll live. Maybe it'll just be one of those peaceful cocaine heists that you read about in the news all the time. But we'll have to see. For that is the end of tonight's episode of Call of Cthulhu Masks of Nyarlathotep, my friends. As ever, it has been an incredibly enjoyable one, wherein the party have had some pretty grim realizations, especially for Tennessee and with Lucy. And hold on to that one for a little while, so that was good. But also, they've taken a whole lot of cocaine, so they're feeling a lot better about everything right now. So, as ever, Master Nyarlathotep continues to be a sanity-draining and yet somehow fun-filled romp through the world of H.P. Lovecraft's Call of Cthulhu. So let's get around to cast and the crew. Did we enjoy ourselves tonight, and where can we find you wonderful people online? As a reminder, we've got Adventures in Middle-earth Episode 3 coming up in just a few minutes' time as well. We'll be heading into Wilderland Adventures and starting into the new chapter of Leaves and Stewed Hobbit. So that's going to be fun. But let's start with Staffan. How's that tonight for you, Staff? And where can we find you online, my friend?
Oh, that was wonderful. Thank you very much, one and all, for yet again letting me meld my brains with the sheer horror that is this party. It's a pleasure and a joy every time. I'm Staffan TJ just about everywhere. I occasionally show my face on here or a few other channels, but it's mostly random. Chaos rules, after all. Tend to hang out in chat more of the time. But that's pretty much it for me, and good luck with the heist, folks.
Absolutely. And yeah,
The
Libby,
Honey
how's
Bear
that tonight for
episode,
you?
Cthulhu style.
Coming soon. Oh man.
Oh, that was super
Yes.
good. I loved the episode where we all got interviewed and seeing the differences in our answers between the detective and the doctor. And I loved Tennessee on the truth serum was just gold. I loved it. It was brilliant. Well played. Well done, sir. Hope for our character's sakes we never see it again. But also I wouldn't out of character mind at all because it was hilarious. And of course, Plan C. Gotta prep that. That'll be fun. Can't wait for next week to see how that goes. I'm sure nothing will go wrong. And in the meanwhile, you can find me online at Laugh Love Lindy on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, where I play /DM about a dozen or so tabletop RPGs a week, including every Tuesday for the next little while. I'll be DMing Beyond the Mountains of Madness right here on Encounter Roleplay. And then, of course, starting next Monday on my channel, a new show is going to be starting, Mondays in Exandria, where I'm going to be playing the most pompous asshole noble lord ever, and it's going to be great. You should come check it out.
Oh, love it. Tom, big episode for the doc. He was almost killed. He was knocked out. He had a bit of memory loss. Now he's doing cocaine. I mean, talk about up and downs.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to come back. It's good to come back, and I know what people think, but honestly, at the beginning, he wasn't trying to run. He was hoping that Koskov would punch the one guard, and then they could make their escape. That was going through his mind. Promise you, that's what he was doing. But honestly, it could look the other way. I could totally understand that. Lucien at the moment is at. He's at the point where he has to go one way or another, and every 5 seconds I'm switching over which way to go. But we'll see. We'll see which way it goes. We'll see. But yeah, I'm Redundant UK. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter, and I'll be back next week.
Hell yeah. Pruitt, how was that tonight for you?
Oh, it was great to get back into the tattoos and rings of Koskov. He is absolutely one of my favorite characters that I have ever created. I'm not sure what that says about me as a person, but this game has been absolutely amazing. At one point, he might actually get to punch Lucien, and it'll be an interesting day when that happens. Although now the thought of Lucien trying to return to England and then getting arrested and put in jail for the rest of his life, that's starting to look good too. But we'll see. So I can't wait to get back next week and get to Australia and see get to Plan C first, priorities, and just see how this all shakes out. Because when you're at sea, there's nothing better than a few snow days, if you know what I'm talking about. So I'm Pruitt. I'm one half of WebDM. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram at JPruInc. Wednesdays are days where we put out videos. Today we put out Cat People Tabaxi, so check that out. If you're into that sort of thing, don't want to force anybody to do anything they don't want to do. So other than that, you can check us out on Twitch, where we have games Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Also, I'm here on Octone Cthulhu on Fridays. And go ahead and check out Tales from the Grim on Sundays for a little Highlander action. Still alive, though my love has been taken from me. So now it is time to find that villainous son of a bitch that took her and take his head back. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a great game. But until next week, everybody have fun out there, and always prepare yourself for a little Plan C.
Good advice. And Don, how was that tonight for you?
Oh man, it was great to be back. I loved the asylum portion of things, and we're at the point now, at least with my character and my sanity level, where it's actually like really challenging to play Call of Cthulhu. It gets to a point where like the decisions are really tough, and you have to kind of just go with making bad decisions because of what your character is basically devolved into, which is a puddle of insanity. And I'm not quite at puddle level yet, but I'm melting fast, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that all plays out. But it was a lot of fun to be back. I can't wait for next week and see what is next for our adventure. You can find me online at Donathan Fry. I write mostly D&D, but I write games and do other shows too. So I post about it all there. If you follow me, you will learn about all the things that I do.
Fantastic. And if you're watching me here, congratulations, you have already found me on the internet, and you're already subject to the things that I do there. You can follow me on Twitter @EncounterRP. And I've got another show coming up in just a few seconds. I'm DMing called Adventures in Middle-earth, Wilderland Adventures, or Wilderland Adventures. It's getting wilder every episode. Yeah, Lord Lordings, Middle-earth, Jonathan Pruitt, Jim Davis, no dead puppies so far, and Madame Gandalf, Hazard, Charlie. So yeah, CSN in a couple of minutes. Until next time, my friends, try not to roll too many now ones, because you never know, you could end up being a car person being operated on in a theater full of doctors, or that could just be your sister. Good night, everybody. Bye.